Mic check, 1, 2. Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome to my latest vlog. Basically, I couldn't be bothered to do a vlog. Actually, no, that's a lie. The vlog completely failed, so I decided to do a question and answer instead. The reason why I've got this hood on is because it's getting cold now here in Syria. But I'll open it up for you guys if I can. Yeah, it's getting cold here in Syria, so let's get right into this Q&A because I've got like 1,000 things that are supposed to be going on right now. And where's my mic? No mic. And so I'm gonna try and do this Q&A as fast as possible. I'm probably gonna say some dumb stuff, but that's probably what's gonna make the 5 people who watch my vlogs find it interesting, inshallah. Okay, so the first question is, what is the current status of aid and aid workers? Okay, current status of aid, we've been having so many dramas recently with the whole of the freed areas, supposedly designated terrorist areas, blocks from the Turkish government on the borders, pressure against them. For the last few months we had no cement, no raw materials coming, so it became a blockade like Gaza. Actually, this is something that is not documented and a lot of people don't know about. Had to stop a lot of our projects, the masjids that we're building, the orphan villages, all the work that we're doing basically came to a standstill. There was a drastic reduction in aid, but it seems that the political situation has seemed to have eased up in terms of aid coming in from Turkey. At the same time, the Russians and the Syrians have started to bomb again, and we had a crazy massacre last week, over 120 people killed in a marketplace. We tried to go there and film for you guys, but it seems that the Syrian people are so devastated about the way that they're just being betrayed and left. Literally, we got the cameras out and people just started going crazy. 7 years, look how much footage has come out of Syria. This is the first time now where people just said, we've had enough. And literally, some of our team that went to this area at Tareb, where they were still digging babies and children out from under the rubble, 4 days later, the people just turned against them. So, yeah, that is the current situation of aid, in a sense, and aid workers. All right. What's it like being an Asian brother in Sham? That's a good question. Okay. I suppose the reason the brother's asking this is because, I don't know, I've been watching a lot lately on social media and there's a lot of talk about racism at the moment, especially with slaves being sold in Libya. Now, of course, crazy that in this day and age something like this can happen, but we did have something similar to this in Syria when ISIS started selling Yazidi slave girls. Okay, so this phenomena still exists in the minds of some people. Now, of course, we believe that Islam and the Prophet ﷺ came to abolish slavery, and it's something that it's not fair, and no one wants to see anybody enslaved or tortured. So, being an Asian brother in Sham, alhamdulillah, up until this day, I have never faced any racism. Why? Because my skin tone, I look like certain Syrians from a certain part of Syria, Sahl al-Ghab, Deir az-Zur. I can get away with being from different places. For a man, it's quite easy, okay, being Asian. It's only when I open my mouth and they hear my accent that they know that I'm not an Arab, okay, and sometimes when they look at my dress sense. But for my wife, for my daughters, I do fear that they may suffer racism, obviously because my wife is of an Afro-Caribbean descent. And there is racism here. There's racism everywhere, but generally there is racism here because there's not that many black people here. Now, we recently come across a case which was really unique. We were dealing with this last week actually. We had a sister from Sudan. She came over to Syria before the revolution. Her husband actually worked in the Sudanese embassy, so he was Syrian. She got married to him, they came to Syria, and basically the war broke out and we all know what happened next. But anyway, this sister who's Sudanese, and if many of you guys know, majority of Sudanese, or I don't know if the majority, but many Sudanese people, their skin complexion is very dark. Now, that complexion here is very, very rare, and this sister doesn't wear niqab and she refuses to wear niqab. Anyway, she came to us as one of the sisters that we have a project where we're treating sisters that have severe depression. And this sister basically was begging to get taken, her and her children, out of Syria, because she was saying that the area that she lives in, people throw rocks at her, they call her racist slurs and chants and so on and so forth. It was very, very, very sad to see. So we brought her, she met my wife, and she was really pleased to see another black person, because there's not that many black people in the freed areas at the moment. And you have to understand, the majority of these people in the freed areas now are from the countryside areas. The city areas of Aleppo, of course, they're used to dealing with people, but even in England, for example, the further out you go and the less people who have contact with these kind of people, it's really strange. So that's sort of what it's like, not in regards to being an Asian person, but being a black person in Sham, especially for a woman, is very, very difficult, and especially for children. We have noticed in some of our schools, in some of the masjids where we teach at, that there is racism. Sometimes the children will, they'll look down upon someone because they're dark, and so we have to always teach them and say, no, this is wrong, and so on and so forth. And I have to be honest, I do slightly worry about this with my own children. Alhamdulillah, up until today, they haven't received any racism, but may Allah make it easy for them and bring them up around good people. Okay, so someone asked, who does your editing, like your vlogs and stuff? Okay, good question, very good question. But you know what? Okay, the first one I edited myself. All right, and I think it was pretty good actually. You guys can put your comments below. But I realized that, one, I'm a complete newbie. I'm way too slow. And if I'm going to edit every vlog, one, my family's going to hate me. Two, I'm going to stop doing the work that I do. So alhamdulillah, I have trusted people behind the cameras now that alhamdulillah help me with the vlogs. Obviously I do a lot of the filming and people look at me like I'm crazy. But yeah, inshallah, the whole aim is to try and get you guys a different perspective on life here in Syria, in a war zone. And inshallah make dua that we can make them better. We're trying to do some Casey Neistat stuff with drones and stuff, but every single time we try and do something, the drone malfunctions or a fight breaks out or something happens. So just make dua that inshallah we can up our game and we can really give you some amazing vlogs. As you know, we're newbies. Right. Someone said, does your spouse and children live with you in Syria, or do you travel back home to see them, and how often do you see them? Alhamdulillah, my spouse says, okay, don't want to go into that one, but that needs a separate vlog, I think. Both live here, alhamdulillah, in Syria, and my children live with me, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. We've been here for 5 years. As an aid worker, it's very difficult to go to the UK and come back. Many of the aid workers that used to come here have been banned. So alhamdulillah, we live here, we're settled here, and we work with many organizations all across the world. And I suppose in a sense, this is our home. To be honest, me and Raquel, we've been married longer in Syria than in the UK. So this is our home now, alhamdulillah. The last question is we all go through low times, so how do you keep yourself motivated? Really good question, alhamdulillah. Like I said, one of the most beautiful things for myself here is that in our field of work, wallahi, when we see one person smile, that really uplifts your iman, because the Prophet ﷺ said many times that a smile is sadaqah, for example, that the best from amongst the Muslimin, or the most loved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are those who are the most beneficial to others. So when you feel that you're making a difference, when you see people that appreciate you and the work that you do, and alhamdulillah, of course, this is all thanks to all of you guys that watch and support us and donate. Couldn't do it without you guys. These are things that raise our iman. So that's in regards to the work. But of course, you're right, sometimes it's very difficult seeing a lot of death, seeing dead bodies, seeing children killed, different difficulties. Sometimes, you feel as if the whole world has left you behind. I feel that, despite, imagine what some of these Syrians feel that are going to be in cold tents right now. I was in a tent last night and it was absolutely freezing. So imagine what some of these people, you know, how they're feeling. So yeah, imans definitely do fluctuate. And some of the techniques I use, of course, is we do a lot of youth work with children. We have horses here that we use for post-traumatic stress disorder, especially in children and in adults. And for me as well, sometimes when I'm feeling low, I'll go and ride my horses through the olive trees. You know, I play football. I try and do all the regular stuff that we used to do back home. We try and do that stuff here. And we also try and, you know, utilize our projects to build things that are fun for others and, you know, that keep our imans high as well. So I hope that answered your question. Jazakallah khair to everyone who sent in their questions. Inshallah, the new vlog, the Lost Sunnah, is going to be coming out soon. Hopefully, if we can get the right shots and things working. Just be patient with us. And this Friday or Saturday, I'm actually being invited to a wedding. So inshallah, I'm going to try and vlog that. So we'll see you guys soon. Jazakallah khair. We love you all for the sake of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope that was an interesting vlog. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And inshallah, we've got a lot more interesting things coming up. So please keep us in your du'as. The links are below. Assalamu alaikum.